Alright guys, this is a key section. You need to remember how to find slope. This is something you'll be using for the rest of math, even in geometry. Maybe not always, but sometimes, okay? So, it says the learner will understand how to find slope and rate of change. Here's the thing, slope, rate of change, same thing. Rate of change is just the word problem, okay? The slope of m of the non-vertical line, so vertical lines don't have a slope, okay? It's undefined. Passing through 2 points, x1, y1, comma, and x2, comma, y2, is the ratio of the rise, the change in y, to the run, the change in x, okay? So see how slope equals rise divided by run, change in y divided by change in x? Well, the way you do that is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Or you can do this. y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. Another way of seeing these symbols is change in y over change in x. That's what that delta triangle means, okay? But the biggest thing, see how you have the second point, first point, they have to match, okay? So it says, find the slope of the line that passes through the points. Okay, so label x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay? So y2 minus m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. See how I did y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That is negative 3 over negative 1, which is 3. So watch. This is what I'm talking about. So you also could have done y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. So you get 3 over 1. So see how they both equal 3? Okay. So as long as you match it up, it's okay. So let's take a look at this one. So x1, y1, x2, y2. So m equals 6 minus 3 over 4 minus negative 2. Well, 6 minus 3 is 3. This changes to plus plus. So you get 3 over 6, which is 1/2. Okay? Let's take a look at another one. Alright. M equals x1, y1, x2, y2. So you have negative 3 minus 5 over 1/2 minus 9/2. Well, that is negative 8 over negative 8 over 2. Well, that's negative 8 over negative 4, which is positive 2. Okay? Alright, let's take a look at some more slope and rate of change problems. Alright, so it says again, find the slope of the line that passes through the points. So it says 5, 2, and 5, negative 2. So x1, y1, x2, y2. So you have m equals negative 2 minus 2 over 5 minus 5, which is negative 4 over 0. Well, you can't divide by 0, so this slope is undefined. And that's because this is the vertical line. Okay, because look, if I graphed these 2 points, I did 5, 2, and 5, negative 2. See how this is a vertical line? So anytime you get a slope undefined, the equation of this, see how the x doesn't change? The equation is just x equals 5. Okay? Alright, let's take a look at another. x1, y1, x2, y2. So I have 4 minus 4 over negative 3 minus 0. So you get 0 over negative 3. So the slope is 0. And see how the y value doesn't change here? So if I graph these points, 0, 4, 1, 2, 3, negative 3, 4. See how it's a horizontal line? So anytime you get a slope of 0, it's just y equals a number. In this case, it's 4. Let's take a look at another. x1, y1, x2, y2. Negative 4 minus 6 over 5 minus 0. You get negative 10 over 5, which is negative 2. Okay? So let's look at a picture here and let's talk about some things. Okay. So it says, classification of lines of the slope. A line with a positive slope means it rises from left to right. See how you always look at a graph from the left to the right. And see how this one goes uphill? That's because it's positive. See how this one goes downhill left to right? It's because it's negative. The slope is 0, horizontal. The slope is undefined, vertical. Okay? So let's take a look at where we're going to see the rate of change issues, okay? So, it says a rate of change compares a change in one quantity to a change in another quantity. So when you think about that, rise over run, because it's comparing the rise to the run. For example, if you are paid $60 for working 5 hours, then your hourly wage is $12 per hour. A rate of change that describes how your pay increases with respect to time spent working. Okay, so let's take a look at this. It says, the table shows the distance a person walks for exercise. Find the rate of change and the distance with respect to time. Okay, so 30 minutes was 1.5 miles, 60 minutes was 3, 90 minutes was 4.5. Here's the thing, you can pick any two. But let's compare, watch. So we have minutes walked to distance. Minutes walked to distance. Minutes walked to distance. So these are your x, these are your y. So now if I go x1, y1, x2, y2, if I just pick those two, I would get 3 minus 1.5 over 60 minus 30, which that equals 1.5 over 30. Now here's the difference. See, rate of change, you don't want to leave it as a fraction. So get your calculator out, divide these. You get 0.05. Now, what is this though? So your rate of change is 0.05 miles per minute. Because, again, it's rise over run. Okay? See how this is the rise, this is the run, so it's miles over the minutes. Okay? And you would get that if you used these two or these two. So it doesn't matter which 2 points you use, you'd get that. So we'll see you guys in class.